Hello, Denise. Oh, come on, device. 11 when my other device acts very screwy, and it is not wanting to pull things up for me. There we go. All right, it looks like that's gonna work. Perfect. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Make It Monday. Today is September 11th. It's always one of those days that is kind of a sad day, but it's just another day, I guess. I mean, if we all remember, God, how many years ago was that now? It's been 22 years now that those Twin Towers went down. Yeah. Thank you, Sheila, for sharing. Oh, see my words. I'm telling you guys. Hello, Becky. Hello, Peggy. I think I saw Bonnie come in here too. Hello, Bonnie. So lots of news to share with you guys and keep you guys informed. I know all of you guys have been following me and following our little stories about what's going on in life. So this last week we had taken my daughter up to the Children's Hospital up in Phoenix to have her EEG done. We got great results, which saying that kind of sounds bad because of the fact that you never want to see your child go through, these seizures, but what better place to have a seizure, right, is in the hospital. Hello, Vicky, and have her hooked up to the monitors and them able to see everything that was going on. So we get there on Tuesday morning of last week, and the doctor comes in immediately, and he had let us know that, we could be there the upwards of 5 days, but he said, he goes, if she doesn't start having seizure activity while we're there, within the first couple of days, that we would wean back on one of the medications to see if we could kind of not necessarily induce a seizure, but kind of sorta. And lo and behold, we didn't have to do that. Come Tuesday morning, pretty early in the morning, or no, Wednesday morning. So she went through the night. We got, she got all hooked up Tuesday afternoon. She ate dinner. She went to sleep. All was good. And then Wednesday morning, she had like 5 seizures, just boom, 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 back to back. So there's a button that you have to hit when she goes through a seizure, and they watch closely and monitor it during that time when you hit the button. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Mary. Hello, Nympha. Sorry, you guys. I didn't see you guys popping in here. I was too busy in my own little world here. Hello, Patty. So, hello, Mom. So as when she has a seizure, you quickly hit this little red button that shuts all the lights off, or not, doesn't shut all the lights off, but turns all the lights on and turns the TV off, and then makes it where the camera is zoomed in on her while she's going through the seizure. So after she had these seizures, later on in the day, the doctor comes back in and he says, he goes, I have to tell you guys, he goes, I'm pretty proud of you guys as being, Caden's parents, that you're very in tune with your child. He said, every time you hit that button, she had a seizure. He said, so you're obviously knowing what you're seeing is clearly seizure activity. And he said, he goes, so that's a good thing that you know what's going on with your daughter. Hello, Anna. And so he said, he goes, so we have a couple of things we can do here. We can, definitely go up on medications. And so since she's on 2 different medications, he was asking, which one we felt that we would rather go up in. And I had told him, one over the other and how I felt. And he said, he goes, I 100% agree with you guys. He said, he goes, you're her parents. You're with her 24/7. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to, over the next week, we'll increase her medication a little bit and then hope to God that she can finally get some relief from these seizures. Because even though, and the other thing that was quite, reassuring that he had told us is that, number one, she is having tonic cluster seizures is what they're called. So A, it's a tonic seizure. B, they're cluster seizures. So that's why she had like 5 in a row, because that's a cluster seizure. But the type of seizure that she's having is a tonic seizure. Whatever that means, I don't know. I don't know all that stuff. But he was saying that because they're only lasting like minimal time, they're like maybe 30 seconds long. She doesn't have long drawn out seizures. Hers are under a minute long. He said that it's not causing any sort of brain damage. So it's not damaging any of the, things in her head. When you think of somebody having a seizure, you typically think of a seizure lasting, on the upwards of a couple of minutes. And I asked the doctor, I said, so what is considered brain damaging seizure then? What is the time frame? And he said, he goes, you're looking more of like a 30-minute seizure. And I was like, oh my word. I didn't even know that was a thing. And he said, yes. He goes, it's absolutely a thing. He says, normally they're in the hospital by that time, but 30-minute seizures are a thing. And he said, he goes, and now those ones are the ones that you want to definitely give a rescue medication for. And he said, he goes, but in Caden's situation, he goes, you don't need to worry about it not hurting her brain. They're just so short and so minute that I know, right? Glad to hear that they're not damaging. I was like kind of jaw to the ground, because I was like, I didn't know that a seizure couldn't be brain damaging. I mean, you see this child going through, or anybody going through a seizure, and you think it's got to be doing something up there. But, that was great to hear. And he's an excellent doctor, and I totally trust what he has to say. So we are now on, trying to increase the medications for her. Now, I know you guys have read that Sunday before we went to took her to the hospital, I had this weird thing happen to me. Hello, Kay. And I went to the hospital on Sunday. Now, so Sunday morning, I get up, everything was fine, kind of piddled around the house. My husband and my son were getting ready to take off to Comic-Con here in Tucson, and they were putting their costumes together and stuff, because they like to dress up for characters of the Comic-Con thing. So we were getting them ready and whatnot, and I was doing just fine. So they left probably around like noonish, and I was piddling around the house. I had just given Caden a bath, because I knew we were leaving a couple of days later to go to the hospital. So I was just kind of doing things and getting things packed and stuff put together. So nothing crazy that I, thought I had done. So I go outside and I feed our turtle. We have a desert tortoise, and I go outside and I feed him, and I come back in the house. Well, it's very bright and sunny down here, so I have this, like, when you stare into the sun and you get those little blue orby like things in your eyes when you come back into a room that's kind of dark. I had that, but I only had it going on in my right eye. And so I was like, okay, that's weird. So I went ahead and I sat down on the couch and I was looking at the TV. I had the TV on for my daughter, so her little cartoons were on. And then as the cartoons were playing, I lost vision. It was still that little blue orb only in my right eye, but I couldn't see anything. It's like that whole vision was gone. Well, and then my right hand started tingling, and then it went completely numb. And I was trying to rub my fingers together to feel skin on skin. I couldn't feel anything. My hand was just completely numb. So I got scared. So I called my mom, because at this point in time, my husband and my son are already gone. I called my mom and I said, I need you to come over. I'm just feeling really weird. I don't know what's going on. I need you to just come over and just reassure me that things are okay. And especially if something was to happen to me, I'm home alone with my daughter. I would hate for her to be like cruising around in her gate trainer and me be passed out or something and can't do anything for her. So my mom comes over and we're like talking about things. Well, then something got me talking about Hurricane Idalia in the state of Florida and how it had went up through, we were just talking about the hurricane. I could not, for the life of me, remember the state of Florida. The name was gone. She kept saying Florida. It was like a foreign word to me. I kept telling her, I go, no, the state that's down in that hangs off of the bottom of the United States, you know what? And she kept saying Florida. And I was like, no, that's not right. That word was foreign. Like, it was not in my vocabulary. It was quite scary because I was thinking so hard, what is this? So I actually walk over to the map because since I homeschool my kids, I walked over to the map and I showed her. I go, this right here. And she goes, yes, dear. She goes, that is the state of Florida. I was mind blown. And my mom goes, I think we need to go to the hospital. And I was like, okay, I think you're right. And I'm always the last person to say, I'm not going to the hospital, I'll be okay. But no, it was extremely scary. I couldn't remember the president of the United States. Something, I don't know if it was a commercial or something that had came on the TV. And we were talking about or maybe it was something about the Florida thing. And we were talking about Ron DeSantis. And because of the fact that he was running for presidency or something like this, I don't know what it was, but I couldn't remember President Biden. I couldn't remember President Trump. I couldn't remember people's names. And these are people that we hear daily on TV, right? That you should know these people's names. I couldn't remember their names at all. So that's when I started getting scared because I'm pretty good with remembering things like that. That became real and that became very scary. And then as I'm talking about things, I can't put words together. Like I can think of them in my brain, but when I try to talk, my words were very jumbled. And I'm still doing it even a little bit now, but it's definitely not the way it was. So anyways, we get to the hospital. My mom drives me into the hospital. They ran a bunch of tests. They did blood lab tests. They did a CT scan. They did a full chest x-ray. And the doctor walks in and he tells me that I'm going to be staying the night. And I was like, I can't. I have to take my... I was telling him, I said, oh my gosh, we have to take my daughter to the hospital in a couple of days. I still have things I have to take care of at home. And he goes, well, number one, you have to take care of you. And I was like, okay, I guess you're right, buddy. So he was super, super sweet. And he said, he goes, but I'm going to talk to, cause he was like the intern and he said he was going to talk to the doctor the doctor that was in charge that night and find out and make sure, she was in agreement with what he was saying and whatever. I was like, okay. So later on that night, probably around like 10 o'clock at night, the actual doctor comes in and she tells me, she goes, I think we're going to let you go home tonight. She goes, after seeing all of your test results, your x-rays, your CT scans, your lab results, she goes, you're perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong. She goes, now if you had high cholesterol or if you had anything wrong, then we would definitely keep you observed or for observations. And she goes, there's nothing wrong. Everything has come back clear. She goes, I think we're going to rule this out as a ATI or something like that. And I was like, okay, what is that? And she goes, well, it's kind of like a mini stroke / could be migraine. I was like, well, I've never had a migraine. She kept asking me. She kept saying, she's like, did you get a headache? Did you get a headache at all? And I was like, not until I got to the hospital and I'm laying in this bed. I don't know if it's because I was laying on my ponytail. And I thought, well, maybe that's why I was getting a lower headache. But I did get pressure behind my eyes from the dizziness when I was at home. So I told her about all that, and she goes, okay. She goes, we're going to say this is a migraine. She goes, I definitely need you to follow up with a neurologist, and you need to follow up with your PCP. I said, okay, great. Now, as I've been home and things have been going, I am extremely, extremely low in iron. I have been for years. It's never really bothered me. Now, my doctor was concerned with it, and I know a couple years ago she had me go in and have iron infusions done. I don't think they ever helped, because every time I've gone in to have blood drawn and they test my iron, it's always extremely, like a number 3. I'm always very, very low. And so she was more or less saying that I need to take care of my womanly, because that is probably causing the issue of me losing the iron. So we've talked about, I know this is TMI. She was saying that I should probably have a hysterectomy. But then as we got talking, she understands that my daughter is very reliant on everything that I have to do for her all day long, because my husband has to work. So we ruled out that having a hysterectomy is not going to work for me, because the downtime is way too much that I have to be able to pick my daughter up. I have to be able to take her places. I have to be able to change her. And it's just too much weight to have to pick up once you have a hysterectomy. So she has told me that there's another, there's another thing that we can do, and it's called a ablation. And so it's where you pretty much go in and they kind of burn the lining of the uterus, and that would kind of not necessarily stop your monthly, but it would definitely slow things down. So that one, there's not very much downtime. It's pretty much you're recovered the next day. You can go back to work. You can do what you need to do. So I think it's time that I absolutely go to that resource, because this dizziness, this wonkiness. Now I have started taking my iron supplements on a daily. I did double up there for a couple of days just to try to get it in my system, hoping that that's what it was. Again, I feel 110 times better. I still, I'm still feeling a little bit of the dizziness. My words are not quite there. I really have to think before I speak, which is not a bad thing. More people need to do that. But my words are just kind of jumbled. So if you hear me like saying weird jumbly words, then you'll know. I'm not trying to blame it on anything, because sometimes I'm just a little dingy, but definitely it has contributed to it. So, okay. I think enough about all that. Oh, but on a positive note, so yesterday the realtor called me and we had an offer on our house. So we accepted the offer and we are now in contract. Woohoo! I mean, I'm trying not to get too excited, because they always have the possibility of pulling out of the contract, but it sounds pretty good. The realtor said that it's an offer that we better take and jump on. The people are very, very, very proactive about wanting our house. So, woohoo! I hope everything is good. So we have some things that this week we have to get on top of and get papers turned in and all that good stuff. So, kind of just one of those, after the storm, here comes the calm and the happiness. So, yeah. Well, see, and that's what I've been hearing from so many people. Actually, my daughter's speech therapist, she had the ablation done. And when I had first heard about it, hello, Wendy. Hello, Marcia. Sorry, you guys. I didn't even see you guys pop in. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Linda. Hello, Marcia. So, I've heard very, very positive things about it. Now, every once in a while, you'll look it up on YouTube and you'll find out what the heck is this ablation thing all about, because I'm a curious George. I want to know what's being done to my body, so I watch the process. Now, there's always those negative, effects that have happened to some people. But an overall statistic, it has very, very good results. So I think for my situation, the lesser of the two evils is going to be the ablation. Now, if I have that done and it clearly doesn't work for me, then I always know that I have a option number 2. It's not the best option for me in my situation, but if worst case scenario, my husband would just have to take a couple of months off work, we would, I mean, what better of a time? We have a house in the middle of being sold that, you know, if we needed to have some money to fall back on, if he had to take some time off work, it might not be a bad time to do that. But I'm just saying, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Hello, Karen. So you guys, I'm going to get you guys flipped around now that you guys know my life story. I mean, that was probably a little bit too much information for you guys, but I do know that you guys have all been asking about us and, you know, sending your good vibes, your prayers, your thoughts about us. And I thought I better give you guys a pretty, you know, detailed description, maybe too detailed, but it clearly looks like you're all women here and you probably know exactly what I'm talking about or been, you know, maybe down that road or know somebody else who's been down this little journey and, you know, you can relate. So I'm going to get you guys flipped around. We are going to talk a little bit of business because September has come out with, you know, a bang and a new catalog has started. And then we've just got so much wonderfulness that I just need to share with you to make sure you're all aware of the fabulous things that Stampin' Up! Has for us in the month of September and forward. Okay, so hold tight. I'm going to get you guys flipped around and then we're going to do some winners and then we're going to get into tonight's beautiful cards using the Pick of the Patch, which is a fabulous stamp set with a punch. I'm a sucker for punches because then I don't have to bring out the big Stampin' Emboss. I can just simply use my punch and punch out my little things, or I can fussy cut a few of these, which I will do. So let me get you guys flipped around and we'll get into it. All right, so hold tight, close your eyes so you don't get sick. Alrighty. Okay, we have a new paper pumpkin that just was released today. It is called Home for the Holidays. I am so excited for this kit. This sounds so festive and it just is. I'm so ready for the holidays. This is running through October 10th, so you need to make sure you subscribe to this paper pumpkin, or you can always buy the prepaid. If you visit my blog, stampinthepinkbarn.com, under the promotions, you're going to read all about this month's paper pumpkin. It says, get everything you need to create shimmery, sparkling Christmas cards. 8 card bases for each of 2 designs, 8 coordinating envelopes. It's going to come with a real red Stampin' Spot. It's going to come with a bottle of glitter glue, beautifully detailed pre-cut pieces, and 1 photopolymer stamp set. So this is a great way to get your holiday cards made for you. Granted, it's only going to make 8 cards, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have a refill for this. So you can always buy a refill kit and go ahead and get your cards made this way. Then it takes a lot of the guesswork out for you because they're already pre-designed for you. So it's a good way to get some of those holiday cards made. Mystery stamping, if you guys missed it, on the 6th, we were still up at the hospital. I wasn't able to bring a whole bunch of supplies with me. So I changed the date. The mystery stamping supplies will be listed on the 13th. So this coming Wednesday, the supply list will be out. We will do the live on the 20th. okay? Just to let you guys know, I pushed it a week ahead. There was just too much going on. I didn't have time to get everything, you know, written and printed out and all that kind of stuff. So just to let you know, it's just a week later on that, but it's still consistent with the Wednesday. Right now, we've got 5 new papers in our online exclusive store. These papers are absolutely gorgeous. I just ordered them. They should be here. I think it said my order is going to be here on Wednesday. These papers consist of some beautiful Christmas paper. It also has some of that floral paper in there that's going to match the... I can't even remember what the name of the stamp set is. But anyways, I will be showing you these as soon as they come in, probably in next week's video, so I can show them to you. There's also these glitter papers right here that they're self-adhesive. So they're adhesive on the back. So when you die cut, all you have to pull those off and they turn into stickers, or if you use a punch or anything with those, but it's a silver and a gold. So very, very pretty, pretty papers. Again, those are in the online exclusive store. Coming up October 7th, so mark your calendars, we have our free virtual card making event. This is World Card Making Day is October 7th. If you are a part of my Pink Barn Stampers group, I actually put 2 PDFs over there for you guys. One is the supply list of the things that you will need. This is a free event for you guys to follow along and get some great cards made. There's a supply list and there's a measurement list. I've put both of them over there for you guys. So then you can get your papers all cut to size that you need. And then you can see what stamp sets they are using for this event as well. Now, that being said, you don't have to use exactly the stamp sets that they have used for this event. You can actually watch the event and have your measurements in hand and then pick your stamps from there. Or you can always look and see what stamp sets that they're using and see if there's something that you have that's kind of like what they're using, so you can create some cards kind of like what they are deciding to use. Now, again, this is a free event. You're going to want to register for this. You will get an email after you register, and then they'll let you know. I think there's going to be an itinerary that tells you like when there's breaks. It's like a 3-hour, I think it's a 3-hour event that they put on for us and do these 3 different cards. They talk about other things that's going on in Stampin' Up. So it's just kind of fun that everybody gets together and spends the day together crafting. The Making a Difference, this is something that Stampin' Up normally does on a yearly basis. Now I have written this down so I make sure that I tell you all about the Make a Difference. This is Making a Difference, Giving Back. So we have, where do you register? You register on, if you go to Stampin' Up, I actually put the registration on this page right here, the Stampin' the Pink Barn. If you scroll down and you see where I have the virtual card making, it'll say see more. If you click the see more, it'll bring you down to a registration link. If you click that link, it'll take you in there and then you can register right there. So the giving back, Stampin' Up does this every year. So this year they have decided this is a craft for a cause, Make a Difference. This year we're supporting Marine Tots or Toys for Tots in the US and the Salvation Army in Canada. So those are the 2 charities that they have decided to support this year. So the paper that is called Walking in the Woods, I know she's got it right here. Let me find it. Oh, no, that's not it. Walking in the Woods paper. Well, maybe she doesn't have it. I just ordered it. So it's the Walking in the Woods paper. So if you guys see that, it's actually, let me show you guys in the catalog just so I can show you exactly what the paper it is. Look at this. I can open up the catalog and show you guys now. How fun is that? So the paper, A Walk in the Forest, that's what it's called. I wasn't even calling it the right thing. A Walk in the Forest. So when you purchase every pack of this paper that is purchased, Stampin' Up! Is going to give $3 US and $4 Canada to the charities of those, countries. So again, that is the Marine Tots or Toys for Tots and the Salvation Army in Canada. So they like to do this every year where they put a product out there that they donate part of the proceeds back to a good cause and give back to, a charity that they choose. So that's what the give back, the making a difference is about. So if you see this, that's kind of, what it is. Also, I've got my Them Bones class that I just put out for September. Now, I was going to do this as a kit class, but since the stamp set and the dies sold out very quickly, I turned this into a PDF class. So the PDF class, this way you'll be able to order the PDF from me. I send it right to you in an email. You have it right then and there after you have made your payment. So this will give you the PDF is for these 4 cards right here. So it's really kind of cool that you can create some really neat cards. You can use these if you're a demonstrator, you can use these in your class. I just ask that you never use any of my PDFs online because I have put the time and the effort in to create these. That if somebody wants to buy the PDF, just send them to stampinthepinkbarn.com and they can purchase the PDF from me. But you are welcome to use any of my designs for your in-person classes or anything like that, or share with your family and friends. I'm totally cool with you doing that. So that is Them Bones for the coming up holiday. I also have the Fresh as a Daisy PDF that is available. The Timeless Arrangements PDF is available, along with the Countryside End PDF that is available also. So just to let you know, if you go to my blog, stampinthepinkbarn.com, and on the right-hand side, you will see that there is a little list of categories. And if you just click on the monthly PDF class, that's what those are there. You can go through them and see which ones you would like to purchase. Okay, so, let's get down to, today we are using, that's why I have the catalog sitting here. This is the set that I'm going to use today. This is Pick of the Patch. It is a stamp set with a coordinating punch. You can buy them individually, but just know that if you buy them as a bundle, you're going to save 10%. Woohoo! And for this week, if you purchase in my store anything that's $35 or more, you're going to go ahead and I'm going to mail this directly to you. You're going to get a kit that looks just like this. It is going to give you enough products to make the 3 cards that we're going to be making tonight. So it'll look just like this. I'll have, the big pieces that need to be die cut. They'll be in there for you. The only thing that I do not give you is I do not give you any embellishments, and I do not stamp any images for you. But if there's any kind of die cutting or anything like that, I will die cut it for you. Now, that being said, because this set does come with pumpkins, I'm not going to punch out the pumpkins for you, because those are something that you're going to want to stamp first and then punch. Because if I try to punch out a little pumpkin for you and have you try to match the stamp up on there, you're going to be yelling at me. So I put enough scraps in there for you to create all the little things that you need to create the cards that are intended. So the way that works is this week when you shop with me and you spend $35 or more, and you must use my current host code, which is TKSSR9KJ. So when you place an order with me and use this host code, you're gonna get that kit free in the mail. So I will send this to you so you will have enough product to make the 3 cards that we're making tonight. Okay, I do have a bonus card for you guys tonight that I've also created with this set that I just wanted to show you guys, and I will be posting it later on in the week over on my blog, just to give you kind of like an extra added bonus with this set. The other thing that I want you guys to know is all the dimensions. I will have still photos. I will put the replay of this video all over on my blog. Now it takes me a while to get everything uploaded and added to that. So I always tell you guys, especially since there's a lot of you guys over on the East Coast and it's late already over there for you guys, that you can always check back in the morning and look at the blog and see how to create all these things. Okay, let's get to the winners of not last week, but the week before. Since last week I had taken the week off, so I went ahead and any of you who made purchases last week, I went ahead and gave you all the stuff that was for the following week. So, okay, let's get to the winners of this was Make It Monday. This was the Inked and Tiled. So this was one of the cards that we made. This one I'm going to be giving away for one of you lucky viewers who liked last week's video. So if you see down below there's little thumbs, there's little heart. If you throw those up, it will put that you've liked or you've hearted my video, and that will add you to the drawing for the liking. So this card right here, we put that little leaf on the inside. This card is going to go to Vicki Ekins. So Vicki, this is coming your way. I think you're in here. Hello, Vicki Bowler. Hello, Shannon. So this is going to come to Vicki Ekins for liking the last week's video and then for commenting on that last week's video. This is going to go to, this is the Blushing Bride one that we used some of that embossing and then just kind of wipe the ink off of it after we did that blending of the ink on this. This is going to Karen Christ. I think that's how you say your last name, Karen Christ. This is going to come your way. So that was for commenting. So when you come in here and you say, hello, let me know where you're watching me from, that gets you added into the comments. Now, for sharing last week's video. So when you come in here and you watch me, whether you're watching me live here on Facebook, or if you come in here and you watch the replay, as long as you do it within this week, today is the 11th of September. As long as you watch and you share this video before Monday the 18th, you will get entered into the sharing drawing, which I normally give away a kind of a bigger prize because I am asking you guys a lot to share my video. Just make sure once you share that you come back in here and you comment that you've shared the video so I can add you to the drawing. So for sharing last week's video, I'm giving away the hand-drawn dots. Now this is a cling stamp set. You will have to put your sticker on there. This is gonna go to Lisa Oliver. Lisa Oliver, this is going to be coming your way. So congratulations, you guys. Thank you guys so much for all of your support and sticking with me and, coming in here and making beautiful cards with me. Okay, let's move that out of the way. I need to take a drink really quick before we get started. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. I have a pretty gnarly bruise on here from when they had to hook up the IV. So another reason why I think it is my iron is because I never bruise. You would have to literally beat the crap out of me and then some for me to bruise. I mean, it takes a lot for me to bruise. And so I mean, when I have blood drawn, there's never any bruising. But this bad boy, after he did the IV, turned black and blue. I also bumped my daughter's wheelchair, and I got a big, huge bruise on my leg. So again, another reason why I think it's probably my iron as well. So just little signs that I'm seeing that I'm hoping that's what it is. All right, so let's get into this first card here. So the first card, oops, that's not the first card. What am I doing? This is the first card. This first card, again, we are using the Pick of the Patch with the Pick of the Patch Builder punch. Now this will punch out your big pumpkin, your medium-sized pumpkin, your 3-petaled leaf here, and your stem for your pumpkins. These other pumpkins and other images, you would have to fussy cut those out, which I will be using this gourd looking squash that I'm just gonna fussy cut that because it's pretty easy to do that with. Even though I'm not a fan of fussy cutting, we're gonna do it. Okay, so this first card that we're making, this is a really cute little Halloween card. Very simple, but I love it. So that's what we're gonna be making with this first card project here. So let's get out all of our little pieces that we need. This is gonna be for the inside of my card, so I'm gonna set that aside. We are using crumb cake for the base. I'm gonna fold this in half. And burnish that down for my base. The next layer that I need is my piece of black. Then I have a white that is just 1/8 of an inch smaller that we are going to layer that on. I also need a scrap of old olive and a scrap of basic white. And I am using these are, surprise, surprise, I'm not using stylish shapes tonight. I kind of figured I needed to mix things around a little bit and show you guys some other die sets that we have that can be standalone because I'm always forever using the same one. So we're mixing things up. This is the Nested Essentials dies. This is a fabulous standalone die set. Hello, Kim. This comes with this little flag. You get 4 different sizes of the little flag. Then you have these little rounded rectangles, 4 sizes. And then this really neat shape here. I don't even know what that shape is, but there are 4 of those as well. So these are the nesting ones. So it's where you can do them in different colors and layer them on top of each other. That's really kind of a cool thing about these standalone dies. So I have taken the smallest of those rounded rectangles. We're going to use this for our sentiment. And then again, we need the scraps, but we're going to go ahead and stamp on this piece first. Let me grab my, let's move this out of the way so we don't lose it. I need my pad so I can stamp on this without making a mess all over my desk. So we need the little small. Now I am using the smaller of the pumpkins right here. And I am using pumpkin pie. And I need to get this on here kind of straight so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to take this and I am just going to start kind of in the bottom middle-ish right here. And then go right over here. Now, if you have one of the Stamparatuses, you can use that to get these straight. I don't think that it's extremely necessary to have them be straight. It's a background layer, so I think it works, and then it looks you know, you've put your love into it because you have made it handmade. And I just kind of do an eyeball because that's how I roll. But if you're picky and you want it to be precise, then absolutely grab your Stamparatus and do it that way. And then, so we're done with that. I'm now gonna grab the little stem right here. And I'm going to close up that and grab the old olive. Now with the stem, it's a little bit longer than what I want. So what I'm going to do, well, I'm gonna move it more to the center here. I'm just gonna ink up only halfway up, or halfway down, I guess you might say. So I'm just gonna take it with my ink pad sitting here and just lightly dip just the top portion of that on there. And then when I come to stamp, it'll just go just like that. Now, again, it's not gonna be precise, but it will work for what I need. Yeah, some people might think this is a little bit too time-consuming or daunting, but I think it's a very, very cute card and definitely worth the time that it takes to do this. Okay, come down here. Okay, now what I'm going to do to just finish this off a little bit is I'm going to add the little stem as if the little pumpkins, we still have a row down there. So just so that kind of completes it all, right? I like to add that little stem. Yes, it's a background, absolutely. And it, you know, some of them are a little off, but who's gonna judge? You know, and if somebody wants to judge, then let them. That's the way I see it. So I'm gonna set that aside and just let that kind of dry. And then we're gonna stamp on here. I'm gonna now come in with this next size little pumpkin, and I'm gonna stamp that. So using my scrap, I'm just gonna stamp the pumpkin here in my pumpkin pie, just like that. And then using my black memento, I'm gonna use the cute little jack-o'-lantern face here. We're gonna do that in black. Now I want this to be very crisp black on here. Now you can use StazOn, But since I'm going to be playing in the Versamark here in just a little bit, I'm going to take and just lightly dab my little jack-o'-lantern face in my Versamark, and then I'm going to pick up the black ink. Because since that Versamark is a little bit tacky, it really does a good job of picking up your dark colors to give it that kind of more of a crisp look. Okay, and we're just gonna add this cute little jack-o'-lantern face to this. Just like that. Oh, love it. Okay, I'm gonna close that up. Ooh, sorry you guys, that'll wake you up. And then grabbing the little sentiment that says Happy Halloween. There it is. I'm going to grab that little white, wherever I put it, my little white sentiment banner here. And I'm just gonna stamp the Happy Halloween on that. Okay, close that up for the time being. And I'm going to fussy cut this. But while I have all this out here, up here is my little stem. I'm gonna use my scrap of Old Olive and just stamp that little stem right there. That's all we need that piece of Old Olive for. Okay, and I'm just going to fussy cut this pumpkin. Or I guess he's not a pumpkin anymore. We've turned him into a jack-o'-lantern. Okay, just like that. Pretty easy. Easy peasy pumpkin squeezy. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little dot of glue after we get the glue booger off there on my little stem here, and I'm not flipping anybody off, I promise. And then just ever so slightly put that little stem on there. I'm gonna kind of crook it just a little bit. There we go. All right, there's that. Move this out of the way. We can start putting this together. So I'm gonna adhere those two together. Now I am going to be using a, it's like a thread that we had back in the day. It is retired. You could use any kind of twine thread you have. I just think this looked very spooky. It was one that we had. It was the gray with the black, and I have a lot of it. So I figured, you know what? It'd be a great week to, because I do give you the ribbon when you place your order with me and I send you your kit. Any kind of ribbons I do send. It's the embellishments and the stamped images that I do not send. Okay, so I'm gonna just hold this and I'm gonna wrap this on here a couple of times. I need to pull some more though. Okay, like that, and then we will take this and do it again. I think I need to wrap it one more time. There we go. So I'm just gonna tie a little bow here after well, see, I put my thing on the wrong end, but that's okay. We'll make it work. all those pieces together there. Okay, and I'm gonna leave those tails for the time being. I do think that we need to move this over a bit because we need to put our little happy Halloween there and then our little pumpkin. So yeah, that'll be good. Okay. So I'm going to adhere this down to my card base. Hello, June. Welcome. Okay, I'm gonna put this on my card base, leaving my margin around my card. That looks all good there. Hold that on there so it gets a good, strong adhesion. Okay, and on here, I'm gonna grab my little, oops, I don't need the black ones. I'm gonna grab the mini glue dots. Now what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna put 2 at the top corners and then 1 in the bottom middle. Now there's a space between here, so then when I go to flip this, everything will lay, you know, flat and correct because the ribbon will run in between those dimensionals. So see how I have that? The ribbon will be able to run through there so it's not all lumpy and bumpy, because that kind of stuff bugs me. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this and lay it right in between there. Now, if you want to be able to see that row of pumpkins, we could always move this down and done it in between there, but I think it looks okay because it actually kind of grabs your eye. And then here, I'm going to put a dimensional on the this side of the pumpkin, and then I'll put a dot of glue over there because that's going to be touching our sentiment, and then this needs to be the same level with the sentiment. Okay, so we'll take that off. Put a little dab of glue over here. And then place this right like that. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna put the inside to this card. So what I've done is I've just layered my pieces just like we did on the outside, but we'll do this for the inside. And I think what I might need to do is I think I'm going to take another one of those little pumpkins, and I think I'm just gonna stamp this right down in the corner of this just to kind of bring all that flow into the inside of the card as well. Ah. Okay, got my little stem here again. And just like so. There we go. Oops, I kind of covered my little sentiment up here. Oh, that's okay. All right, and then we are going to put this on the inside. Okay, So then our card flows nice to the inside as well. Now I'm going to be using, I love these gems. Now these come in they're in the large and the small in the 3 different colors. So you've got silver, black, and gold. I absolutely love these, and I like the versatility that these could be on any card. Now these are called the Adhesive Back Sparkle Gems. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some of the black ones on here. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna grab a big one up here. Put it right there. Grab another big one. Put it right up here in this corner. And then a little one and put it right there. There we go. Just to add a little bit of bling to this super cute card. And so there is card number 1. What do you guys think of that? Isn't that so fun? And it doesn't take much product because you're creating your own background for this, but it's very, very cute and very spooky. So there's card number 1. Okay, so let me do card number 2 now. Let me move some of my stuff, clean up my mess here just a bit. Now this second card, I got this idea from one of the girls that lives here in Arizona. She is a part of our little group our demonstrator group that we get together every so many months or whatnot. I follow her on her blog, and she made the cutest little card. I changed mine up. She used a completely different stamp set than what I'm going to use, but anyways, you're gonna see this super cute little fun fold card that was created. So this is the one that we're going to be making. This is an easel card. So it opens up like that. Oops, I need to bring it down a little bit. It opens up like that, but then this folds and then pops up and stands right on that little belly band in the inside. Isn't that cute? And I, again, using this set, but we just kind of added the colors that came in this paper. Now this paper is out of stock at the moment. It comes back in this week. So watch for this paper. This is the All About Autumn paper. Now one side, this is a specialty designer series paper. So one side has all this shimmery gold copper to it. And then the other side has beautiful fall and kind of a wood-like texture to it. Oh, love this paper. So we're gonna make this card now. So let me grab the stuff that we need. I'm also bringing in some of, and I know this is out of stock as well. We all had fun wiping the shelves of Stampin' Up! When this brand new catalog came out. This is called the Oxidized Copper 12 by 12 specialty paper. Now it has the, I think that is Pretty Peacock. Yep, you've got Pretty Peacock, and you've got the copper. Now I'm assuming this is more of like a pecan. It would probably pair with the pecan quite well. I don't think I have any pecan paper sitting right here. Well, you know what? Let's see here. Just to kind of give you an idea. Now see, that is copper clay with that. That doesn't quite go, but I know she's got, here's pecan. Pecan, however you say it. That is identical. So just so you know that that color is pecan with the copper. And I have cut off a sliver of that, and that's what we're going to be using today for some of our little leaves. Okay, so let's pull out the pieces that we need. And I decided to use Very Vanilla with this instead of white. I just like how the Very Vanilla kind of added a little bit more subtlety to the card versus using the white. Okay, so our card base that we need right here, this is 8.5 by 4 1/4. Now, you guys, I did say that I will have all the dimensions on my blog, but I'm just telling you so you're not just seeing me do something and be like, what is she even doing? So, Oh, it is back in stock. Sweet. Okay, there you guys go. It'll be gone before you know it. I know I got to order some more of it. So this is 8.5 by 4 1/4. We are going to do some scoring now. We're going to score this at 2 1/8. Get our cutting blade out of here because we don't want to cut anything. So 2 1/8, we're going to score, and then we're going to score at 4 1/4. Just like that. So this is a cute little, it's not your typical size card. This is going to be, I think it's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, but it will still fit inside of an envelope when you go to mail that to somebody. Just so you know that this will fit in there and you can mail this. But it's just kind of fun because then they'll be able to set this on a bookshelf and use it like that. All right. Karen Christ, hello. You are the winner of one of my giveaways today. You'll have to watch the replay so you can see what you are going to be getting in the mail. So that is our base that we're going to be using. So what we're going to do is our center cut is 4 1/4. We are going to fold on the center cut, let that flap back open, and then we are going to fold it again. So you're gonna fold in and in again, because then that's going to sit just like that. Does that make sense? So let's go ahead and do some of our, the paper came back late this afternoon. Awesome. I was watching it this morning because I placed an order this morning, and I was hoping that it would have been there. But I do express shipping, like 2-day shipping. So I could get my stuff a lot sooner, especially with all that new paper on there. I wanted to be able to show it to you guys. Okay, so then our next pieces that we're going to need, we're gonna need another piece. Oh, this is Pretty Peacock, by the way. We're gonna need another piece of Pretty Peacock. This is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Now, so this is the same size as our base, but when we go to glue this on here, we're only gonna be gluing the bottom portion on because that's gonna be the part that's going to stand up. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and be, we're gonna do our front here. Our next piece that we need is our Moody Mauve. This is 4 by 4. And then our designer series paper here. This is that gorgeous, gorgeous paper with that shimmery, coppery color on there. But as you can see, the colors that are in this, you've got the Pretty Peacock, the Moody Mauve, and you've got some Old Olive in there. So those are the colors that I'm gonna be pulling out of this paper. Now this is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I've also cut another Moody Mauve with my Very Vanilla. These are gonna go in the inside of our card base. So I'm just gonna set those aside for now. You're gonna need some scrap of Very Vanilla. We went ahead and cut out the same size of that, the smallest little curved rectangle from the Nested Essentials dies. That's going to be our sentiment on the front. So we're gonna set that aside. We are going to be doing some stamping on this. So we're gonna move all this stuff out of the way. We're also gonna need a strip of the Moody Mauve and a strip of that designer series paper. Now these are, this one here, the Moody Mauve is 7/8 by 4. And this little strip here is 3/4 by 3 7/8. So that's what's gonna go on the inside to hold that easel up. So I'm gonna set that because we're gonna do some of our stamping first. Okay, so let's get out the stamps that we're going to be using. We need to use, we're gonna need Pretty Peacock. And Pretty Peacock is going to stamp the little medium, this pumpkin right here. So this one, we're gonna stamp that. Okay, so that one. Now, what I need to do is I need to look at my punch and see which way this needs to go. So if I go to put this in here, I'm gonna go like that. So I need to make sure that my pumpkin is upright so I can do that. So this is Pretty Peacock. Okay, like that. So then I'm gonna take that and just slide it in here and line that up. Maybe. Okay. So that is the Pretty Peacock one right there. Now we need to punch out this one right here, the big pumpkin. We're gonna do that in Moody Mauve. Okay, now this one is gonna go this way. So I think we might do it over here on the bottom. Okay, just like that. So we need to, look what I just did. Stuck my finger right in that. Ugh, hold on a minute. Let me grab a baby wipe. See, you can't stamp without sticking your finger in something, right? But what a pretty color to stick my finger in. At least it wasn't red. But out of all the colors that I'm using tonight, it is the only one that has a red tone, and that was the one that got me. Never fails, I tell you guys what. Okay, there is Moody Mauve. Okay, I'm gonna close that so we don't have any more fingers in the ink. Okay, we're going to punch that one. There's Moody Mauve. And these lighten up as they dry. We need the Lost, oops, I bump you guys. We're gonna need Lost Lagoon. And now we're gonna use this long, tall, skinny pumpkin. I wish I could be the long, tall, and skinny pumpkin. But I'm the short, fat pumpkin. And I'm okay with that. I guess we'll say chubby, we won't say fat, because that's rude. Okay, done with that. Oops, I should have done the sentiment when I had that Pretty Peacock out. So there is our Lost Lagoon. And now for the last one, I am using Old Olive, and this is where I'm gonna do that little gourd. Little gourdy. Okay, just like that. And I will stamp that right below. All right, and then I want to use the sentiment that says, thanks so much. And bring Pretty Peacock back out. Okay, and I'm gonna do this down towards this bottom corner. And I forgot, good thing, because I forgot to bring over my little scrap piece. I'm gonna need some of this pecan. So let me just cut a little sliver of this off. Because we need stems for our pumpkins. So then I have this right here. So I'm going to do 3 stems. So again, just take that, punch it in there. There we go. Okay, that's what I needed. Get rid of this. we are done stamping, so I'm gonna move that out of the way, and we are going to fussy cut. Ah, I can hang on to things. See, these are quite easy to fussy cut. I don't have a problem with these. It's some of those very intricate floral images that there are some people who are so good at fussy cutting and they like doing it. I don't. Just saying. Now these I can do because it's very, very kind of simple. I don't have to move much. And then you kind of just let the scissors do the work for you. You just take your opposite hand. So in other words, my left hand moves the paper. I don't move my right hand besides to cut, but I just turn it with my left hand through those scissors. Okay. Now this right here, I'm going to use the leaf down below, and that's why I cut a thin piece, because then all I have to do is just slide this through and cut out my leaves like that. Okay, just like that. Hold on 2 seconds. Well, it's my desk, so he's gonna probably, he looks like he's driving, he looks like he's driving up there because that desk is probably heavy, but you said he has a package for you too. Okay. Sorry guys, UPS just showed up and I wanted to make sure he didn't deliver my desk. My husband got me a new desk for up at the other house, up at my house. So I wanted to make sure that he didn't deliver it here because there's no way in the world I'm gonna be able to carry it all the way over there. So I wanted to make sure everybody kind of knew what was going on. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead, now that we've got all of our pieces, let's put our stems on our, oh, there it is. Okay. I'm gonna take this stem and I'm gonna turn it around because since it's kind of bigger at the top, I think it looks better on this bigger pumpkin. So we're gonna go like this. Just like that. I like the look of that, okay? And then I'm not gonna put a stem on the gourd looking guy. This one, I'm going to just put a dot of glue on that. You could use mini glue dots as well. Okay, and then this one here. Go like that. We're gonna kind of crook that one. I like it like that. Okay, there are all those. There are leaves, so let's start gluing these pieces. So we're gonna glue our piece of designer series paper. Leaving a very thin margin on this one. And then now we're gonna take this and glue this to our pretty peacock. Okay, just like that. Okay, Now let's adhere these pieces together. There is our Very Vanilla to our Moody Mauve. Kind of makes you sound bougie when you're saying all of our colors because they're just kind of, they're cool names. It's not like grape, you know what I mean? It's Moody Mauve. That just sounds kind of fancy. Okay, there's that. Now angle that where that has a very, very small portion around it as well, margin. Okay, I'm not gonna adhere that yet until we have our card together. Now, what I find to be the best way, we can go ahead and adhere this one in the inside because it just kind of makes our, oh, my dad got his hearing aids. So it's so funny. We came over here yesterday to tell him about the offer that we got on our house. And he's like, shh, because now he can hear everything. And now everything's so loud. He was telling me, it's kind of funny because we can hear things. And he was telling us that when he goes outside and he rakes, and when he's walking through the yard to go feed the birds and everything, he can hear himself crunching on the ground. And I go, what, you could never hear that before? He goes, no. He goes, I can hear my shoes squeaking inside of the house on the, you know, on the wood floor, but he couldn't hear it. He couldn't hear the crunching of his shoes on the rocks outside. So just those little sounds that we all kind of take for granted. And then when he can hear them, and then like when we walk in the house, we're very, very loud people. So he's like, okay, you got to take it down. And that's what my mom said. My mom goes, when he's on the phone for work, he's so quiet now because he's echoing in his own head. So she said, it's kind of nice. He's pretty quiet nowadays. Okay, so we're gonna line this up like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adhere this bottom portion. So you've got the top portion and the bottom portion. Do not put any glue up there. You're only gonna put glue down here. And then we're gonna take our piece of front layer, and we're just gonna line that up on there. And it's gonna all line up all around our card base. Just like that. Very, very cool. And then see how there's nothing sticky here? That's gonna fold up just like that to make our little easel. Now this is where we get to decide where we want to put this little inside piece. Now, if you want it to stand straight up like that, you can push that higher up. I like it to kind of have a little lean to it. So I am just going to add this kind of towards the bottom, just leaving maybe 1/4 of an inch of the Very Vanilla showing towards the bottom. So it's gonna touch the outside of your Moody Mauve to the other outside of your Moody Mauve. Okay, just like that. Give that a few seconds. And then I kind of like to pull up on this back side to make sure this has something to catch to. Now it's gonna catch no matter what because it is 2 thicknesses of paper on top of that. Okay, let's go ahead and decorate the outside of this. So I'm gonna need my little minis here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and put this down here. So I'm gonna put some of my minis. Now you can use regular dimensionals. Either way, you're not gonna see any of those. I just had the minis sitting here. Okay, I'm gonna place that right like, let's go up a little bit more, right up there. Okay, now our big pumpkin. Now I'm gonna do a dry fit first, just to see how I like everything. This one's gonna sit back there. Let's do this one right here. And then our gourd. Now I'm gonna kind of flip my little gourd up, and that's gonna sit like that. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to glue my gourd down like so. Tuck that just a little bit behind there, but I'm gonna leave the top part kind of curled. Then let's do that right there. Okay. Now I'm going to put a dimensional on the side of this. Well, I can see why now that hearing him with these hearing aids and how quiet he is. He used to be so loud. Like, it would drive my mom bananas. She would hear him in talking on, like, for his work. He's on his phone all the time for work. And she would just get so frustrated. She's like, I don't need to hear your conversation too. Well, now she said, he's so quiet in there. And I go, yeah, because he can hear. And so it's just kind of cute because the person who was always so loud and bellowy through the house is now so quiet and just, he's like, I can hear everything. Be quiet. So yeah, I can understand the whole construction thing, Frida. Okay, I'm gonna take these little leaves and we're just gonna place them, you know, just kind of slightly tuck them around in here. And let's do this one right down here. Okay. So again, just kind of gluing these on here like so. This one is going to go down here. And then this one, I'm going to put a dimensional right on that little side. And then a little bit of glue over here. And that's gonna get tucked in right like that. Okay. And now let's bring in a little bit of bling. Oops, I did not want that stuck down there. You know what I think I need to do? I need to take a dimensional and put underneath this. So I'm gonna bend this up just a skosh, pop that underneath there, and voila, there we go. Okay, now let's bring in those beautiful little gems that I put somewhere and now they're hiding. There they are. Okay, we are going to grab these beauties and we're going to use the gold ones this time. So let's grab a big gold and I'm going to place that right there. We're going to use a little gold, put it on that, and then another little gold and we'll put it right over there. There we go. Voila. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love the colors. Isn't that just gorgeous? Yep. So, so pretty. And I like that it's small. It's like a miniature size card, but it's not really because it still is the full effect, but it's just fun. It's something different and it's a different size. And that's, you know, kind of cool that we can find things like that. So there is card number 2. So let me move that so we can get to card number 3. Okay, card number 3, we're going to be doing this very cool. We're going to use some more of that paper, but this is more of like the country style, I think. It looks more of a rustic kind of either Thanksgiving, Halloween, whatever. I did the You're the Pick of the Patch on this, but I did have done this in the white embossing powder. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to this. Okay, so for this card, I have used the base of, this is Pebbled Path. So it's kind of a gray, but it has a hint of brown to it. Let me make sure that this is the right size because it almost looks a little too big. 5.5, nope. Ah, is it 5.5? Yep, perfect, okay. All right, so we're gonna fold this in half for our card base. Okay, there's our base. And then I have come in with some Lost Lagoon, and I am using the contoured or scallop contour scallops. I can never remember the name of this, and of course it's the one that we didn't label, but this is the dies that I've chose, and I use the biggest scalloped rectangle here, or frame, and that is what I'm going to cut out of this. And when I do, you get this really, really cool frame right here. Ooh, I had a bug fly right into my eye. Ugh. Okay, so there, that's gonna get layered on the, look at those two colors. Aren't those so pretty together? Oh, it's like my mom's house. She's into these teals and stuff, so she's got these colors going on. Okay, I need a scrap of, I chose garden green this time because I really liked the garden green with the Lost Lagoon. And then I have grabbed 2 of these pieces of paper. So this is that All About Autumn, and you guys have let me know that it is back in the store. So look at these fall colors in this. Aren't they just gorgeous? So I have chosen the one with the pumpkin because I really wanted to bring out those pumpkin colors, or gourds, I guess you might say, squash. And then I've grabbed the one with the wood grain on it. And so I'm going to layer these on here. I'm just going to place that right like that. And then this one is just gonna go right over here, just like so. Okay, just like that. So let me adhere these on here. Okay, and then we'll put the little pumpkins right down the side there. Look at the back sides of these. Oh, aren't they so pretty? I love specialty paper, but then it's so hard to choose what sides to use. So that's why I always have to be like, okay, I've got to buy multiple packs of this because I'm going to be using both sides. So then I don't have to feel like a hoarder and not ever touch my paper because I don't want to mess up anything. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. But first, let's go ahead and stamp the pick of the patch on here. And then we're gonna use the white embossing powder. So let me grab that and that. I'm going to take this and lightly rub the embossing buddy across there. Okay, and then I'm gonna stamp and Versamark my sentiment. You're the pick of the patch. Okay, I'm gonna place that right along there. Close that, get that out of the way so we don't make any messes here. And then I'm gonna take this white powder, just like that. My Blossom Buddy didn't do very well, but that's okay. Okay, let's close this. Okay, and let's heat this up. All right. Oh, so cool. Okay, that kind of made that curl a little bit, so we'll just straighten that back out. And once we get it adhered, it won't be curly. All right, let's move this over here and out of the way. Oh, come on. All right, there's that. Let's grab our white scrap. We're gonna need a scrap of white, a scrap of green, and we're going to stamp our pumpkins. So for this one, I'm going to be using the little round pumpkin here, our center pumpkin, our more wider pumpkin, and then our little narrow pumpkin. And then I don't need the stem anymore. I think I just got green all over my hands. Okay, again, looking at my thing here. If I do this up here in this corner. Okay, I'm gonna stamp these all in pumpkin pie. Okay, so there's that one. And then if I do this one right down over here, you don't need this big of a scrap, but it was just what I had in my little drawer, so that's why I grabbed it. Okay, there's that one. And then right above it, we're going to do the little thin one. Okay, we can close that up. Let me rub these on the chamois so I don't stick my hands or paper or anything in those. Okay. Now here, we're going to do 2 of our stems. Oh my gosh, so I have been binge watching this week, and I have to tell you guys this because I am in love with this show, and I have been for quite a few years. It was kind of what got me through COVID when the world was shut down. I watched the heck out of it, but there is a show, if you guys haven't heard of it, you guys have to go check it out. It's such a chick flick, even though I make my husband watch it with me. It is called Virgin River. And I know you guys have probably, you guys have all heard of it because it is an amazing show. But I have been binge watching the heck out of it. The new season just came out this weekend and oh my gosh, it is kind of a tearjerker. It's not quite a tearjerker. Like I wasn't completely crying, but I did tear up a couple of times on it. But oh, it's such a wonderful show. And it's kind of a wholesome show where you don't feel like you're watching a bunch of, you know, shoot 'em up, killing kind of stuff. So I got my daughter's speech therapist. I got her and her whole family, her daughters all sit down and watch it and binge watch it. But we would always talk about, oh my gosh, what is going on Virgin River? And then when a new season would release, I would text her and I'd be like, I know what you're doing this weekend. I know what you're binge watching. And she's like, you darn tootin'. So it was kind of funny. But it is a really good show and it's on Netflix. And if you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. Oh, it's so good. And I just heard that they have decided that they are already going to make a season 6. I'm so excited. Okay, we are going to do our little stems. I'm not gonna put a stem on this pumpkin, but I am on the, well, after I get my glue booger off of here. Oh, see, Linda loves Virgin River. I know. Oh, it's just so good. Ooh, why all of a sudden is my glue not working? Well, I'll teach you a lesson. Nope, we are not done with you. Okay, there's that one. We're gonna do the little thin one right like that. And then this one, again, I'm gonna take it and turn it over. Okay. And put that one right on there. Just like that. Okay, our pumpkins are good. Now, this right here is called the Copper and Natural Ribbon Combo Pack. We are going to be using the natural one. Now, I'm gonna do something a little funky here. You're gonna cut off the first layer when you get this. Just a little thin, where'd my thing go? Okay, then what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna take your, just a little length of this. You don't need a whole heck of a lot, just like that. Now, that can be put away. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your little pokey tool and you're just gonna pull. Now, sometimes you can grab an end and then it'll just take it right out. And of course, it's not gonna work on this one. So, oh, there we go. See how once you get it going, sometimes you can just pull that right. Now that's the one that's going this way, up and down. So it's gonna leave you with all these little frillies. So just pull, 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 pull. Keep pulling until we're about like that. And then we can cut this part off like that. Toss that, we don't need that. Okay, just like that. Now what we're gonna do, and this is a little long, we're gonna cut this down a little bit because that's a little cray. But we're going to get this put on here. Well, I did have to teach it. I had to teach it that it was gonna work whether it wanted to or not. We're not playing around here. We're crafting. We need the glue to be on point. No resting right now. Okay, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna kind of put it like right there. We're gonna clean this up a little bit, but kind of like that. Again, we're gonna do a little dry fit here. We're gonna do some trimming of our fringe. Okay, just like that. So we need to come in here and take off a little bit. We're gonna give it a little haircut, just like that. Nothing crazy. We might even need to take off a little bit more. Nope, I think that looks just fine and dandy. Okay, let's cut, or let's throw this stuff away so we don't get it adhered in anything. Now, just with a little piece of our Terran tape, just a little length like that. We're gonna take this and we're just gonna stick it right like so. And with this Terran tape, that's gonna hold our fringe so it doesn't take off and just unravel the whole way. It's gonna hold it with our tape. So we're gonna take this little thing and slide it down here and just ever so slightly push it right onto that tape. There you go. It's all gonna stay in place. Now I've got a little bit of some craziness going on right here, so we're just gonna cut some of that craze off. There we go. we don't want any of that showing. Okay, so there's our little fun frill. It almost, you know what it reminds me? It reminds me of when you go to a corn, like maze, and they've got the corn husks sitting there and all that little frizzy stuff is hanging out. That's what it kind of reminds me of. So I'm going to take that pumpkin and this pumpkin, and they're gonna go flat down, and then my short pumpkin's gonna get popped up. So let's go ahead and adhere these down. Like that. And those are gonna go behind. And I like to kind of just shoo them around. Okay, we're gonna take some dimensionals. Let's do one big dimensional on this one. Okay, just like that. And we're gonna pop that right over here. There we go. We've got all our little frills, and it's kind of interactive and kind of fun, you know, just something different. Okay, but we're not done because we need to add a little bit of bling, if I can find them, because I keep losing them. Oh, for the love. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna use the gold this time because we've used the other 3 colors, so why not use the last one? Okay, so I'm going to put the, because if you go back, you'll stab yourself, and that's not fun. Ask me how I know. Okay, we're gonna take the silver, like that. Then we're gonna do one more up here. There we go. Isn't that so fun? Let's put some pretties to the inside. Let me grab one of my card innies. And I think we're gonna do a little strip of this pumpkin paper. So I am just gonna cut off just a 1/2 inch here. And we're gonna run that down the inside of that, and see that blue right there? See how this pumpkin has, or gourd or whatever, has some of those blue tones? I thought it went perfect with that Lost Lagoon. So that's what made me decide to go with the Lost Lagoon. Okay, cut off these extra ends here. Now you guys, make sure you run, don't walk, run, and get yourself some of this paper, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna run out again because it was super popular. And it actually goes with a different set. It goes with the leaves set. And I just went ahead and decided I wanted to use the pick of the patch this week, so I paired it with that as well. So you guys can see that you'll be using it on plenty of different cards. Okay, just like that. And there is our super fun little pumpkin card. I think we need to stamp a pumpkin in here. Just like so. And there is our last card of the evening. Woohoo! What do you guys think of these super cute pick of the patch little cute cards that we have created today? Kind of something, you know, just different for fall. I was really in the fall mood. It was kind of cloudy here today. We didn't get any rain, but that's okay. This week we're supposed to stay under 100 degrees the rest of the week. So, well, fingers crossed. Okay, let me get these out of the way so I can bring all of these cards in here. And then it was kind of funny. I walked over to my mom's house and she has some of those plug-in things in the side, you know, those plug-in scent things that you put in the wall. And it smelled like baked, like pumpkin pie or baked, I don't know, baked something. It smelled so good. And I was like, oh my God, now I'm totally in the fall mood. Woohoo. Okay, where are we going here? We're going to grab all of these. So there we go. There are all three of our super cute pick of the patch cards for September 11th. So again, when you spend $35 or more in my store, and make sure you use my current host code TKSSR9KJ. This is also on my blog. When you look at the blog post, when you come to get all the dimensions for these cards, there is a link that you can actually click on this and it'll take you right into my store with this code already attached to it. So then you don't have to try to remember it. If not, screenshot this so you make sure you have it. This code will be good through, I believe I'm going to run it through the 17th. So this week I will close this host code out just so I make sure we don't lose anything, because host codes are only good in our Stampin' Up store for 30 days and then they're gone. So I will be doing a new host code for the following week. But right now for this week, make sure you use that one. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming in here and spending your evening with me. I hope you enjoyed these super cute, fun little cards, and it kind of got you in the autumn fall mood, ready for some pumpkin carving, maybe pumpkin cookies or pumpkin pie, or it even gets you ready for, especially like these two cards, they more remind me of like Thanksgiving. So, all right, you guys, have a wonderful week. Be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you guys next Monday on the 18th. All right, you guys, take care. Bye-bye.